Contest.
All right, good evening, everyone. Okay, we're gonna do this again since y'all liked it before. What up, though? All right, hey, Detroit. What's going on? I hope you guys are having an amazing day. I'm super excited. I know our judges, our alumni, and most importantly, our contestants are super amped. I want to officially kick off and welcome you to the Hatch Off, our final round of the Comerica Hatch Detroit Contest by Tech Town. My name is AJ Williams, and I am the managing editor at Michigan Chronicle, amongst other hats that I wear, but that's the one we're gonna highlight tonight because that's how I get to be here. So, so I'm thrilled to be your host. This, if you did not know, is the 12th year of Hatch Detroit, and we have, yes, give it up. 12 years of assisting entrepreneurs in their dreams. I will say as a tangent, I had an opportunity to sit in on the judges, and when I tell you they are passionate about being here. So it's really dope when you have people, I think, that want to see you succeed, but also are invested in their own time and their passions to be here. So I'm super excited to have them. They are amped. They are ready. So, as I stated, it's the 12th year of Hatch Detroit, and we have some incredibly talented entrepreneurs here tonight, all vying for, how much, y'all? Now, if somebody was giving y'all $100,000, y'all would be saying that a little bit louder. So, how much are they getting tonight? There we go. And that is going to help them open their storefront business in Detroit. The competition is fierce, but I have no doubt that we're going to be seeing some incredible pitches tonight. We're ready for a little bit of Detroit Shark Tank. So for those of you who are new to Hatch, Hatch Detroit by Tech Town is a vehicle to champion and support independent small businesses through funding, education, exposure, and mentoring. Anchored by this annual contest, Hatch awards just one entrepreneur tonight with $100,000. And what's most important in addition to that is not just the money, but a package of in-kind services to open their brick-and-mortar business in Detroit, Highland Park. I also shout that out as HP, and Hamtramck. Hatch also provides continued technical assistance and coaching. Isn't that amazing? Right? Not only for the winner, but for the contestants who placed in the top 10 each year, the Hatch alumni. Give it up for the alumni that are here. Congratulations to yourselves. They do that through Tech Town's entrepreneurial education and small business service programming. Hatch also, over the years, Hatch Detroit alumni have opened 50 businesses. Okay, y'all ain't open. I open no business. 50 businesses, right? Which employ, and here's the huge part on the economic impact that furthers throughout the city, 500 people, and I have invested more than $13 million in their businesses. The Comerica Hatch Detroit Contest has helped launch some of Detroit's most successful and well-known businesses. Give it up, yes. So this year, we had the opportunity to review more than 150 submitted applications through a multi-stage process that involved alumni, small business ecosystem partners, stakeholders, board members, and community leaders. And now we have finally arrived at the top 4, right? Awesome. So these businesses have been working extremely hard over the past month to get to this point, and we're all eager to find out who will walk away with $100,000 from Comerica. And while there can only be one cash prize winner, new this year, our other 3 finalists will also receive an in-kind support package from Accenture, TechTown, and Guy Fawkes Webster. So give it up to them for that. Alrighty, so now, as we know, although we have Comerica and all of these other amazing partners, it takes a village, right? And that's what this whole incubator is about. It takes a village to support our entrepreneur, and this event would not be possible, gotta give it up for our sponsors and the money people, without the hard work and support from TechTown, our sponsors, Comerica, Accenture, EY, and MEDC. So you give it up for them. Please, let's give them a huge, huge round of applause. Now, to share a little bit more about TechTown, I would like to welcome up to the stage Ned Stabler, the CEO of TechTown and Vice President of the Economic Development at Wayne State University.
Get to use this?
Yes, you can.
Awesome. Thank you.
You get to use anything you want.
Oh, don't tell me. They won't tell me where the PA system is over in TechTown. There is one where you can make announcements to the whole building, but I swear I've been there for 8 years. They will not tell me where it is. For very good reason. Welcome, everybody. We're so excited to have you here on what I think is one of the best nights in Detroit's entrepreneurial ecosystem, the 2023 Hatch Off. Let's give it up for $100,000. Could you use $100,000? Anybody? You got a couple things you could do with it? So before we get going, I do want to take just 1 second to acknowledge one member of the Comerica Hatch Detroit / TechTown family who had a pretty big event happen this week. Their big milestone that they achieved this week. If Mamba, there you are. Could you stand up for a second? We all know Mamba. Hatch winner about 5 years ago. Recognition from the James Beard Foundation, Best New Restaurant of the Year, Mailbox Fair. If you haven't been there yet, what are you doing? This became a U.S. citizen. So it really does take a village, and we love all of the members of the TechTown and Hatch families. We're so excited to welcome new members in tonight and give them $100,000 and a ton of support. I want to tell you a little bit about TechTown, how Hatch came to TechTown. So TechTown is Detroit's premier business support organization. We've been around for almost 20 years. Next year it'll be 20 years. Last year alone, we helped 750 entrepreneurs who raised an additional $34 million for their businesses. And most importantly, those entrepreneurs are the city of Detroit. 57% of them use she, her, hers pronoun. 84% of them were people and entrepreneurs of color. 12% were immigrants. We are rising and raising up the entire city of Detroit. Highland Park and Hamtramck too. And so when Nick Gorga and Victoria Katansky were looking for a home for the premier business plan idea competition of Hatch, they thought it was a natural fit for TechTown, and we couldn't have agreed more, because this has just been an amazing contest for the last 12 years. And to that end, I want to give a special shout out to Comerica Bank. So you're going to hear from them in just a minute. Give them a big round of applause, will you? Because we all know, especially in the nonprofit community, that funders get excited about stuff. And for 2 or 3 or maybe even 5 years, they have a baby, and they're very excited about it. And then they see something else that's shiny, and off they go in another direction. Not Comerica. Not only is Comerica stuck by this program for more than a decade, they doubled down. So poor Mambo only got 50 grand from us when he won the award a few years back. I'm sorry, man, I'm sorry. He still made it anyway. So think how easy it's going to be for you guys with $100,000. So thank you to the Comerica team, Linda and Matt, and of course Steve and the whole crew, and Omar, who's coming up in just a minute. Thank you very much for your support. I also want to give a special thanks to our other sponsors, EY, Accenture, and MEDC. We could not do this without you. Your support is absolutely essential. So thank you. Let's give them a round of applause too. And finally, all of our our individual donors. We are a 501c3. Thank you to the hundreds of you that donate to keep our programs basically free for all of our entrepreneurs every year. Thank you for all of you. And I'm getting the hook. So.
You're getting a switch out.
Oh, okay.
Such a
You should have given me the
powerful
hook. Now I'm gone again for a few more minutes. Thank you to all the individual donors that you make this really possible for us. And then finally, why TechTown? Not just because we do the support, but we have very specific programs that feed directly into this, most notably the Retail Bootcamp program. How many Retail Bootcamp alum are here right now? I know 2 of the 4 finalists are. But even back in the day, and I think it's part of why Victoria and Nick came to us, 3 of the first 5 winners were Retail Bootcamp grads as well from the Hatch competition. So you're going to get a chance, if you'd like, on May 23rd. Come on out to the Retail Bootcamp Showcase and see, you can get an advanced preview of who's going to be sitting up in these chairs in just a couple of years when you come to the Retail Bootcamp Showcase on May 23rd. So with that, I'm going to get out of your way so that you can hear who's going to win how much? $100,000. I have the pleasure to introduce Omar Salah from Comerica Bank. If I knew your title, he is the Vice President of Small Business Lending for the entire country. Is that right?
Great job. Nice job. Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon, good evening. Good to see you guys. So by the way, I am based in California, but I came out here for this event. Linda and the team asked me to come out, and I think we beat you guys this year in rain. I think yeah. So anyways, Coney Dogs, Buddy Pizza, I've been a big fan of Michigan. So first of all, thank you guys for joining us this evening to celebrate one of Detroit's best and most successful business incubation programs for small business. So like Nate said, I have the privilege of leading small business banking for Comerica Bank. And in my role, I have the pleasure of meeting such creative, smart, and courageous small business owners across the country, including right here in Detroit. And I know I speak for my Comerica colleagues here tonight. We wake up every single day looking forward to making dreams come true for small business communities that we serve. So like many of you, I am a first-generation American born to immigrant parents, and they started their own business like many immigrants. And from firsthand life experience, I know the challenges, like many of you, of starting up a business and living the life of a small business family. It's hard work, it's sacrifice, but it's also incredibly rewarding to see your idea and your concept from startup to becoming a fully functioning business and contributing to your community. And small business, it's truly the heartbeat of the country. So a couple stats that some of you may or may not know. Small business, it's 99% of all business in the United States. That's 33 million businesses. 2/3 of all jobs created in this country come from small business. That's nearly half of the United States GDP is small business. And in the last couple years, we've seen a record of new startups in the US. Now, right here locally in Michigan, almost 1 million small businesses call Michigan home. We have about half of the workforce in Michigan is working for a small business. And revenues for Michigan small businesses have grown by 24%. That's triple the national growth rate. So you guys are doing something right out here in Michigan. And we also, here in Michigan, have one of the highest growth rates in the nation. And do you know which segment that is in small business? Women-owned business, right here in Michigan. So super powerful. So this has been one of Comerica's most important community partnerships for the past decade, as you heard. And it's an honor to be a part of this evening that will no doubt transform the landscape of small business in Detroit and many lives. After a decade of Hatch Detroit competitions, we are still astounded every year by the incredible pioneers that come through this contest and the success of the contest, the success that this fosters. So Hatch Off, it's one of Comerica's biggest community events in the Michigan market each year, going back to 2011. And it brings the dreams of an aspiring business owner closer to reality, and it serves as a vital resource for these entrepreneurs. And we value this program because Hatch Detroit, it leaves a lasting impact on Detroit's economic revitalization by bolstering that entrepreneurial spirit, rewarding innovation, and promoting small business development. And Comerica has continued to strengthen its investment in the contest with economic development programming through technical assistance and financial education over the years. And truly a priority of ours is cultivating economic opportunity, especially in underserved communities. And the Comerica Hatch Detroit Contest has served as a successful incubator and resources for businesses here in Detroit. So goes without saying, we thank TechTown for your work in assisting and growing entrepreneurs and small business and your passion for advocating for this community. Also goes without saying, Ned, Christiane, the team, the entire TechTown team, not only for tonight, but for everything that you and your teams do for this community. So big thank you to you guys. So as y'all know, small business is facing a shifting economic and operational realities in today's changing world. And brick and mortar, which is a big focus here, brick and mortar businesses are operating in an entirely new landscape. And this makes the integration with TechTown even more important to the future of the Hatch Detroit program and the success of its participants. And they're also immediately connected with a partner to really help their business thrive. So I'm going to wrap up here. First, I want to recognize some of the Comerica leadership team that's sitting right over here. Steve Davis, our Comerica Michigan Market President. Steve, hello. Linda Nosby, our National Community Impact Leader, who is the heart and soul of Comerica here. Actually, everyone that works at Comerica, we all work for Linda, by the way, if you all didn't know that. A newer colleague to our company, Megan Story. She's the Director of Small Business for Michigan. Megan, hello. Also, Beatrice Kelly, who's the Director of Community Development and is also a Hatch-Off judge right over there. Hello, Beatrice. Larry Bryant, who is our Retail Banking Director for Southeast Michigan. Larry, where are you? Larry, hello. And if you don't know Patty Alexander, she is iconic, the legendary Patty Alexander from Business Banking, who's also an advisor to Hatch Detroit. And a big thank you to the entire Comerica team. I know we have several colleagues here who have helped support this contest and have volunteered to make it another success. And so most importantly to the contestants, we wish you all luck. You're already winners, every single one of you. We're proud of you, and you're going to do great things with your life. For your, also your leadership, your courage, your passion. Each one of you are making our community a better place. And not just for tonight, and not just for this contest, but think about what this is going to do for the next generation of small business to come. You each have a bright future, and you're going to make Detroit proud. So thank you all so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Enjoy it. Give it up one more time for Comerica and TechTown. Awesome. All right. So I told you guys that I had a sneak peek into the judges, and they're super excited and they're super passionate. So I'm going to tell the contestants, if they can hear me, like, don't pay attention to the stern faces. They're very much here to support and really pour into each of the contestants. Now, being a born and raised Detroiter, I'm proud where my Detroiters at. Yes. I have had the pleasure to know and highlight some of these people also as being the managing editor of the Michigan Chronicle. So this is a super dope introduction for me. So kicking off, joining tonight, we have first up, if y'all haven't, all I'm gonna say, if you haven't tried our cakes, where have you been? So first is April Anderson, who is a successful, yes, we all know April, who is a successful entrepreneur, co-owner, and pastry chef at Good Cakes and Bakes, an award-winning, nationally renowned and recognized chef with a passion for community and small business. April brings a wealth of knowledge and expertise to our panel. Please welcome April Anderson. Next, we have Beatrice Kelly, who we all just been introduced to, but again, Senior Vice President and Director of Community Development Lending for Comerica Bank, who is an accomplished executive in the financial services industry. Beatrice brings leadership experience in community reinvestment and capital deployment to communities and businesses to our group. Please give it up for Beatrice Kelly. Next up, we also have joining us Ian Connors, Head of Community Affairs at Amazon, an advocate for equity and opportunity in Detroit. Ian's economic and business development background as state senator and in the municipal government brings a unique viewpoint to the questionings this evening. Please give it up for Ian Connors. Next, we have Rachel Allen, CEO of Operations School and co-founder of Centrix Place, with a keen eye. She has a keen eye, I was listening. With a keen eye for detail and deep understanding of what it takes to succeed in business, Rachel is sure to provide some valuable insight and feedback for each of our finalists. Please give it up for Rachel Allen. And finally, we have Dewan Dandridge, CEO of Black Leaders Detroit, who is a community champion, avid bike rider. Fun fact, he has a bike ride where he literally rides to Mackinac. Check that out. Like, that's dope by itself. I'm not riding to Mackinac, so please give it up to him for that. He's an avid bike rider and a catalyst of small business development. With over $1 million distributed to Black-led businesses and organizations, Dewan is sure to bring an important perspective to our panel. So together, please give it up once again for him. So, altogether, we have a very well-rounded perspective on our judges being able to ask very relevant questions, give feedback, and make the appropriate choice in the end for our winners. So now, I like the pause for dramatic effect. Are you ready to meet the contestants? Our 4 finalists. First up, we have Catherine Coleman, CEO of Bouncing Around the Motor City, Detroit's premier. Come on up, girl. Hey, girl, hey.
Stand up.
You got it, see. She is the Detroit Premier's one-stop shop for balloons, decor, event planning, and party renos. Give it up one more time for Catherine Coleman. Next, we have Helena Mahalu, owner and chef of Konjo, a unique and vibrant Ethiopian food experience that shares appreciation for the rich, diverse global cuisine with the community it serves. First of all, why y'all so just cute? I mean, come on, represent. I'm sorry, just that. All right, next we have Jay and Sarah Williams, co-owners with Next Chapter Books. It is a general interest, new and used bookstore in Detroit, working to reflect and create community, inspiring learning, and nurturing the joy of reading among all ages. Please give it up. Yes. I'm a fan of reading as a writer, so yes. And finally, we have Martell Mason, co-founder and head roaster of Sepia Coffee Project. It is a minority-owned roastery sourcing specialty coffee from farmers throughout Africa, the Americas, and the Indian Pacific regions. Please give it up for Sepia Coffee. Well, y'all are just dope. Are you ready? Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna be Vanna Black. Here we go. Right, I get the good vibes going. Good vibes. Good. So what the contestants are going to do, they are going to pick their own positioning in the pitch. So we have 4 pieces, each with a number. 1 is for you, and you will pitch based on that number. All right, here we go. Only pick one. You don't get to pitch twice. So open it up. Let's see. Number 3. All right. Next, Jay and Sierra. She's going to blame it on you if it's not the position she wants. Oh, 1. All right. All right, madam. Number 2. Oh, I mean, hey, talk your talk. All right, so now that each of the contestants knows their positions, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna tell you a little bit how this is gonna go if you're not familiar with the format. So you guys can just breathe in anticipation for right now. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the format of this competition, here's how it's gonna work. Each finalist has already picked a number, and they will have 5 minutes to pitch their business to our panel of judges and you, the audience. After the last pitch, we will bring all the finalists on stage, and the judges will have a chance to ask a round of questions to all of them. After the Q&A, the top 4 will be given the last 30 seconds, each 30 seconds, to make their final appeal on why they should win $100,000, okay? The judges will then go and deliberate while you go and have some food and some drinks and some cocktails and some wines. And then after that, voting will remain open for 15 minutes after the last appeal. So yes, if you have not voted, if you notice, there are signs with QR codes all outside. Just scan it. You also still get an opportunity to be a part of the vote. So this is for everyone. Everyone has their role in voting, so please remember to vote if you have not voted. The public vote will factor into the judge's final decision. The winner will receive $100,000 from Comerica. Additionally, the winner and all our finalists will receive support once again from our sponsors, Accentra, Giffords, Webster, and TechTown, as well as some invaluable exposures for their businesses. We'll be talking about stories later. But now, before we get started, I want to remind everyone of one major thing. Are you ready? The judges' vote is final. So, please be gracious and understand that's why we went through all of their credentials, so you'll understand the intentionality that has went behind this decision. So now, without further ado, I'm gonna ask everybody, with the exception of number 1, step off the stage. Or no, do we have them stay? I'm sorry, I'm not sure. Step off, that's right. I mean, if it was me, I wouldn't want y'all in my shine. So I just went with that. Okay, so now we're gonna talk a little bit about our first contestant. Let me get to my lovely notes on them. Oh, we're switching mics again. Okay, which one is mine? I'm good? Okay, all right. They just want to make you sweat. It's really what it is. It's not about the mics. No. Okay. First, it's working. Okay, first, Next Chapter Books. Next Chapter Books is a general interest, new and secondhand bookstore in Detroit, offering affordable book selections through a highly curated collection highlighting the work of local and historically underrepresented authors. Partners in life and in business, Sarah, a journalist, hey girl, and Jay, who left the corporate world, are building their dream of a neighborhood bookstore that uplifts authors and authors of color, where neighbors feel welcome, safe, and reflected. Please give it up for Next Chapter Books. Just as a reminder for the contestants, you have 5 minutes.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Jay.
And we're the owners of Next Chapter Books, a new and secondhand general interest bookstore on Detroit's East Side. We might take two here.
Did it? Okay. Is it? I'm sorry. Okay.
What did I say?
If you live on the east side of Detroit,
Is she down there?
this is.
It's not working.
Sorry.
The anticipation.
Proceed.
There it is. It's on. Yeah. Are we all set? Okay.
We're good?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, I'm Sarah,
And I'm Jay.
and we're the owners of Next Chapter Books, a new and secondhand general interest bookstore on Detroit's east side. In my earliest memories around books,
It's not. I mean, I guess we're going to keep going, or the monitor's not working.
yeah, let's just tell us when you're ready. Okay. Three's a charm, right? Hi, I'm Sarah,
And I'm Jay.
and we're the owners of Next Chapter Books, a new and secondhand general interest bookstore on Detroit's east side. In my earliest memories with books, I'm 4 or 5 years old, living in the East Warren community. My father is reading the Chronicles of Narnia to my brothers and I. My mother is walking us to the Jefferson Branch Library every week for story time. This is where I made my first friends, both real and literary. I fell in love with reading in this community, and it's here that Jay and I want to carry on that magic for others by opening a full-time bookstore.
If you live on the east side of Detroit, your opportunities for browsing and purchasing books in person are extremely limited. From Woodward all the way to the Points, there are no full-time general interest bookstores. And why does this matter? It matters because browsing among books sparks our curiosity until we find the story that we believe in. And for me, that was Animal Farm. In the 8th grade, I wasn't much of a reader, but this book spoke to me. I loved understanding how Orwell's allegory spoke to me. I loved learning about the Russian Revolution, and it ignited a love in reading and studying history for me that stayed with me ever since. It opened my eyes to a bigger world, and 35 years later, I still have that book that Miss Wolshon gave me in 8th grade at Ludington Middle School. And when we opened our bookstore, I knew that Animal Farm needed to be on that shelf.
In our pop-up at the Elger Theater, we've been open 3 days a week for the last 5 months. The response we've had from neighbors who are deeply involved in their community and eager to shop where they live has been tremendous. We're thankful to be invited into neighborhood association meetings, social mixers, and monthly newsletters. It's clear our community wants to invest in local business, and we're taking time to hear what they want to see in our bookstore, because this is becoming our community. We're creating a relational and financial investment here that can't be found by purchasing books online. Jeff Bezos is not coming to read stories with your kids.
That's why we need you to help us take this part-time bookstore and bring it into a full-time location nearby. By centering in East English Village, we see our market as a 7 zip code region that represents a modest 10 to 15-minute drive to our new location. And it includes parts of Detroit, Harper Woods, and Grosse Pointe. And since opening, we have seen that the new and used model is successful. It's important to us to integrate contemporary secondhand books to increase access and affordability to book ownership. We've been profitable even with limited hours, square footage, and a limited revenue stream.
This tells us that we can scale up.
We'll offset the cost of our larger space by increasing our days that we're open, expanding our inventory to reach a broader market, and selling Detroit-centered gifts, local art, baked goods, and coffee.
Like us and many of you, our customers are craving a human connection. During our pop-up season, we've begun programming our monthly book club and children's story time. We look forward to growing into author talks, poetry readings, after-school read-aloud, and collaborations with local artists. As a community bookstore in Detroit, we're committed to featuring our local authors, poets, and stories. And as a writer, this is very important to me because I've interacted and learned from the city's creative community. Jay and I are new small business partners, but we've been partners in life for over 28 years. While raising a family, working, and pursuing our education, we sometimes did a little dreaming.
And after 24 years in the corporate setting, I long to find work that was more meaningful to me.
As a journalist and the CEO of our household, who would gladly trade a spotless kitchen to get lost in books with our kids, I wanted our dream to center people and stories. 5 years ago, we started naming this dream to open a community bookstore in Detroit, where we're from and where we spend our time. While raising a family, we've kept this dream on the shelf. But with an empty nest and the support of our 3 girls, we're writing our next chapter.
But we know that we can't do this alone, right? We are a small business, and that is why we are partnering and seeking advice from those who have gone before us and those who are experts in the field. And we're looking forward to having the support of TechTown and serving our community.
So why are we here? We're here to ask Comerica, TechTown, and all of you to help us transform an empty space on East Warren into Next Chapter Books, an independent bookstore and community hub. We've intentionally chosen this building because it's close to future developments, it's in the footpath of students, and though this partnership won't cover all of our startup costs, it'll go a long way into helping us realize our vision. So, who wants to help us create a bookstore?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Give it up. Okay, all the mics. Here we go. Here we go. Give it up once again. For Next Chapter Books. I often say it shows your resilience, being a person who does hosting and in front of people, and it takes a ton of nerves to get up here and do this, to bounce through hiccups, because much as I heard from our judges, you know, hiccups and ups and downs are a part of entrepreneurial life. So once again, congratulations on your pitch, just that alone, to Next Chapter Books. Okay, so next we have contestant number 2, Konjo Me. Konjo Me is an Ethiopian pop-up restaurant in Metro Detroit, and they also sell packaged Ethiopian coffee and spices in store. Born and raised in Ethiopia and living in America as an immigrant, Helena is passionate about cooking and loves sharing her culture through food and bringing people together. She wants people to experience culture through food. When she cooks with love, recreating a sense of home away from home. Give it up for Konjo Me.
Dish the fork and use your hands. It's all about energy connection with your food. Hello everyone, my name is Helena Malaku. I am the chef and owner of Konjo Me, authentic Ethiopian cuisine. Konjo means beautiful. It represents your inner beauty and embracing your authentic self. It is one of the many languages spoken in Ethiopia called Amharic. I was born and raised in Ethiopia and migrated to the United States as a teenager with my family. Living in Detroit, I noticed the lack of healthy food option and African cuisine. With a passion for cooking, I wanted to share my ancestral palate with the world through food. During the pandemic, I felt really disconnected from home. Losing loved ones made me realize that life is really short and to pursue my passion. I've always had a passion for bringing people together through food, so I took a leap of faith and established Konjo in the midst of the pandemic in 2020. Konjo offers vegan and meat options. We have a large selection of vegan food, all locally sourced produce, and we serve halal meat. Ethiopian food is healthy, nutritious, flavorful, and of course, delicious. And the best part about this is that you use your hands to eat the food. The base of Ethiopian food is called injera. Injera is a thin, flat bread made from an ancient grain called teff. And this is the main food in Ethiopia. In 2021, we started doing pop-ups by educating Detroiters about Ethiopian cuisine and culture. In 2022, we launched our packaged coffee product and spices, which is available in various stores, one of them being Rivertown Meyer. We have done over 500 pop-ups and served over 6,000 people. Currently, we do weekly pop-ups, and we have done several pop-ups in the past. You can find us at the Schwitz. We've done pop-ups at Babel Fair, York Ann Harbor, and Frame Hazel Park. Now, this brought a lot of attention through social media. Konjo has been featured on various platforms. This gave us a chance to connect with a wider audience and tell our story through food. In 2021, when we started doing pop-ups, we generated $25,000 in sales. Last year, in 2022, we generated $88,000 in sales after launching our coffee products, as well as catering, Ethiopian traditional coffee ceremonies. In 2023, this year to date, we have generated $20,000 in sales, and our projected sales for the end of the year is going to be a little bit over $100,000. Now, next year, when we open our location in 2024, we are projecting $500,000 in sales, and the year after, $1 million. We recently signed a letter of intent with Namdi and Urge for new development in Woodbridge, Detroit. This new development is going to house 30 apartment units upstairs, and Konjo is going to be one of the restaurants downstairs. We will have 55 seatings with a 2-hour table turn. Our average ticket sales is going to be $22, bringing us to a rough estimate of $6,050 per day. We will be open 6 days a week, serving pastries and coffee in the morning, lunch, and dinner. Currently, our total ask for the budget is $500,000. We are in talks with different micro-lenders to make this happen. The money will be allocated for build-outs, design, architects, permits, and anything needed for our restaurant. We have an amazing team, and it continues to grow. Our most recent venture is partnership with University of Michigan through Detroit Neighborhood Entrepreneur Project. We have interns working for us from Ross School of Business, law school, as well as art and design. These students have been working very hard to have a strategy for Konjomi's products for visibility and for scaling our sales. Today, we're asking for $100,000 in funding for a startup. This money is going to go towards the build-out and any equipment needed for our kitchen. Help us bring a unique concept, Ethiopian concept, to Detroit, and make sure you come to our next pop-up where eating with your hands is required. Thank you very much.
Give it up. Give it up for Konjo. Also, just give it up for the dress. All right. Next, we have Sepia Coffee Project. The Sepia Coffee Project is a minority-owned coffee roastery sourcing specially grade specially grade Arabic coffee from smallholder farmers throughout the Americas, Africa, and Indian-specific regions, providing greater transparency and more equity along the value chain. Martel has traveled the world as a trader, immersing himself in the knowledge and culture of the world's best coffee localities, from East Africa to Istanbul, Turkey, and throughout Western Asia. He has lived firsthand how coffee brings people together and fuels conversations of change. Please welcome the Sepia Coffee Project.
Just get right into it. Hello, everyone. My name is Martel Mason, and I'm the co-founder and roaster for the Sepia Coffee Project. We're a small batch coffee roastery currently located in Detroit's North End. Coffee has been an invaluable part of my academic and professional career. In 20 years, I've been a barista, a coffee trader, and now a roaster. My experience in coffee spans 5 continents, and I've lived in many countries around the world, including Korea, Saudi, Norway, and Turkey. I'll focus on the last chapter, Turkey. There were 2 milestones which happened while living and working in Istanbul that are part of what I do today. In 2017, I opened a coffee import business in Istanbul. I saw an opportunity to be of service to a growing coffee community. Turkish and Arabic coffee is known around the world, but many of you would be surprised to learn that lots of Turkish roasters go as far as London, Hamburg, and Oslo to find good quality coffee. So I saw an opportunity to be of service. I decided to open up my own import business in Istanbul, moving coffee directly from origin. For me, the takeaway for this was having access to quality goods and services. In 2018, we moved some coffee from Ethiopia. This coffee sold extremely well, even before it arrived through customs. With the sale of the coffee, I thought it would be a great opportunity to visit the farms. So in 2018, I decided to visit Addis Ababa and meet with our supplier. For those who may have worked in trade or commodities, when you're trading a product, you usually don't meet the person face to face. A lot of my communication was direct through email. So when I arrived at the hotel in Addis, I contacted my supplier, Mike Mamo, who is the guy that you see in the photo in the bottom. And I said, Mike, I'm here, come and pick me up. So I was waiting in the hotel lobby, and I saw a man come through the door. We made eye contact, and I said, Mike? And he said, Martel? And he walked over and gave me a hug. And he said, brother, I didn't know you were black. We smiled, and then we headed over to his office. When we walked through the door, all of the staff that were in the room stopped and just looked at me. And he said, this is Martel, the importer from Istanbul. They all stood up, walked over, shook my hand. I was confused. And immediately he said, you're the first black person to move our coffee. Okay? Yes. Mike's father was one of the first traders in Ethiopia to really export coffees. They've been in the industry for 30, 40 years. And the fact that in 2017 and 2018, I was the first black person to move their coffee said a lot to me. So the takeaway from this experience was representation, inclusion, and equity matters. Okay? Pivoting with the pandemic, I returned to Highland Park, where I was born and raised. The first thing that I saw was a problem. I couldn't find specialty coffee in Highland Park. I couldn't find specialty coffee 3 miles outside of Highland Park. The closest was Midtown Detroit, 4 miles away, and Ferndale, 4 miles north. And so in my head, I said, okay, there's a problem here. We need to try to solve it. It didn't make sense to me. So I started doing my research. And with the 2020 census, I learned Highland Parkers spent $24 million on food and beverage in 2020. If you go 3 miles outside of Highland Park's border, that goes up to $380 million. 5 more miles, it's $1 billion. So it's not having lack of disposable income, but having access to goods and services. Within coffee, in 2022, there were 25 million bags of coffee that was imported to the United States. One bag is 60 kilograms, or 144 pounds. 25 million bags. Just in 2022, $96 billion was made in the coffee sector. $96 billion. And of that, when we think about increases, when we talk about annual increases, 3.5% is projected from now into 2030. So, what's the solution? Open up a roastery and a cafe in Highland Park. With Palmer Park in the north and Boston Edison in the south, Hamilton Avenue is our Kirchable. It's our Cass Corridor. It's our Livernois. There is no reason why we should not have small businesses thriving on Hamilton right now. And so I saw an opportunity to be of service.
And that is your time. But give it up. Give it up. Give it up for Sepia Project. I'm sorry, the Sepia Coffee Project. Listen, you can definitely tell, I think it's amazing that so much passion can come from one coffee bean. So that, I think, is truly amazing. Give it up one more time. All right, we are down to our last final pitch for the evening, and that leads us to Bouncing Around the Motor City. Bouncing Around the Motor City is a Detroit's premium party and event rental company, offering it all from large inflatables, large-scale balloons decor, down to custom party favors of their extraordinary balloon bouquets. Catherine enthusiastically describes herself as the hardest working mompreneur in the D, and proudly a Detroiter to the core. She loves what she does and is passionate about bringing others joy, happiness, confidence through her work. Give it up for Bouncing Around the Motor City. No, I'll.
Like from 10 or 5 or? Within the next 30 seconds. I got you. Let's go. Hip hop hooray. Let's get hatched today, Detroit. 2017, I had a bedside conversation with my mother. She told me to live my life without any regrets. And just like that, I was up against the wall. I had an ailing hospice mother, small children, and no other family to help me. This was my motivation to leave the Detroit Water and Sewage Department. I stepped out on faith, and Bouncing Around the Motor City was born. My parents only had a 5th grade education. They weren't allowed to be children because they had to work and help the household. I'm the first in my family to graduate high school, college with a bachelor and master's of business administration, and I heavily invested in small business education, and I saw every entrepreneur opportunity I could to learn the things that I didn't have the opportunity to learn as an inner city minority. I cultivated my hustler mentality into a leader, delegating, a dynamic team. Bouncing Around the Motor City is Detroit's premier balloon party and event rental, one-stop shop offering inflatables, tables, chairs, linen, but we found that our niche was balloons. And so then we found out our target market was moms and organizations. We began working on versus in our business. We traveled to Washington, California, Florida. We became certified balloon artists. Yes, there is such a thing. My background includes Party City and Carlton cards. What product has lasted throughout time for almost 200 years? Of course. So since the first balloon in 1824, balloons are largely symbolic of goals, dreams, aspirations. They represent the need to let things go, or sometimes hold on. It's the smiles, the confidence, the reassurance. Latex balloons are sustainable. I've literally been bouncing around the Motor City. This is my inflatable on the big screen at Comerica Park. So whether your event is for 30 or 30,000 people, we're proven ready and capable of succeeding. I purchased a building in District 2 in the Bethune community. I went before city council and I had it pulled from the demo list. I represented the community and I advocated. So at this point, we wanted all the smoke. I had to figure out where I was gonna get the funding from. So I accomplished Motor City matches and pitch competitions that got us momentum that hasn't stopped yet. We had the roof replaced, the cave-in walls, the concrete floor. Look at this before and after. 5 years ago, I made these sale projections at my retail boot camp pitch competition, and it's mind-blowing that we actually hit all these goals. Now we're here to do it again. My team consists of a lawyer, a CPA, a mentor, 5 amazing rock stars. We realized that my car is exactly the real-life version of an emoji car. It's mind-blowing that we hit all these goals. Now, back in 2019, we needed $300,000. We've made $200,000 achieved. And this final piece of the puzzle is going to cross us across the finish line, open doors to a rehabilitated building, into a store where you can come in and shop fresh hot popcorn, local stores, revitalize, fill a market gap, and enhance the community. Imagine what we could do if we had a storefront, a logo, a delivery van. My plan has positioned us to where this opportunity can come possible in 3 months. We can open our doors. This is how we will grow this $100,000 by 2026 and to achieve $300,000 in sales. I was born in Detroit, raised in Detroit. I'm a member of the community. I'm from this community. We're gonna create 10 to 15 jobs straight off the bat. I'm gonna be the domino effect of returning Finkel to a flourishing business district, restore the pride in the community, small business vitals to major American cities. 70 cents of every dollar remains in the community. Small businesses are half of the economy. Global party supplies market size was 15.1 million in 2021 and predicted to grow a revenue of 38.2 million by 2032. Detroit is unapologetically taking back its reins as a popular happening city. However, every other major city has a balloon and a party store. Keep Detroit unique by hatching us. Let's go, Detroit.
Give it up for bouncing around the Motor City. Let's go, Detroit.
Take back my 39 hours.
One more time. Bouncing around Detroit. All right, so, judges, I'm glad that I have this. I'm glad I have this job and not yours, because those pitches were amazing. Give it up one more time for all of our amazing finalists. Now, what we're gonna do is invite all of our finalists back onto the stage so that they can prepare themselves to answer questions from the judges. So please come on back up, have a seat. While our finalists are joining us on the stage, I want to take a moment to remind everyone of the incredibly hard work and dedication that goes into starting and running a small business. It is not an easy path, but it's one that is so important, as we heard earlier from Comerica, that it's so important to our economy and our communities, and running a business while also preparing and succeeding in each round of this contest is no easy feat. I've often thought of running a business as building a small business, as building a car and trying to drive the car at the same time. So it's not an easy feat, and amazing people do it. So, one more time. I know y'all tired of it, but they deserve it. One more time. For our finalists. All right, so that being said, let's get this started. Make sure I'm on track. So, thank you, judges, for once again joining us. I'm going to leave it up to you guys to kind of go as you want to ping in. We have 30 minutes. Much like Catherine said, I'm going to step up, kind of count you down in our last minute of questioning. There's 30 minutes of questioning from the judges. Yep. Catherine, like, listen, I want to know. Not mad about it, girl. All right, so who would like to kick off the first question? Do they have a mic? Okay.
On?
Yes,
All right.
go for it.
Thank you all so much. This was fantastic. Really appreciate you stepping up and being a part of Hatch. You all know what you've done to prepare. So just, again, one more round of applause for the entire effort that you put in. Lots of preparation that goes into this. So the majority of my questions will be about competition in general. I had just a few questions. My first, and we'll rotate from here, for Konjo, you spoke about a letter of intent for the building that you're planning to operate in. Do you know when that timeline for the construction project is? If you could speak a bit to that, it'd be helpful.
Okay, so for the timeline for that, from what I am told from the architect and the broker, is going to be fall of this year, late fall of this year is what I know.
Can you hear me now? All right. So congratulations for making it this far. I loved hearing all of your stories. And my first question is for Jay and Sarah. So I'm just a girl from the east side of Detroit, and I know exactly where you're talking about. I would like to know about your other funding sources. So you talked a little bit about how you would use the $100,000, but you didn't touch on what else is needed to launch. So I want to hear about that.
Is this on? Yeah. Thank you. So we are waiting to hear from some other funding sources. We are in the match cash track that we should hear about by the end of June. We have applied for, I'm sorry, Alice?
It's still Alice.
Small Business Fund, which is, I'm sorry, do you want the amounts or? Okay, that we're waiting to hear from in May. We have applied for the Olga Foundation, which is a grant that we'll also hear about on a rolling basis. And we have met with Prosper Us for the possibility of a small business loan. So we hope that those other sources of funding will help us close our gap.
Okay, a couple seconds. Congratulations to everyone here. It was really inspiring to hear all of your pitches. So my first question is actually for the Sepia Coffee Project. Unfortunately, we didn't get to hear the completion of your pitch. I'm really curious of what else would you like the judges to know that maybe we didn't get a chance to hear originally?
Thank you. Can everyone hear me? Yes, hear me. There we go. Thank you for the question. A couple things that I would like to mention is that we've been in business since 2022. For quarter 3 and quarter 4 of last year, we did $13,000 in sales with 14 wholesale accounts. Just in quarter 1 of 2023, we're at $10,000 with 22 wholesale accounts in our portfolio. With the build out of our roastery, as well as adding a cafe, a sit-down cafe experience, we're projected to do $185,000 by the end of the year. That's with wholesale and retail. So that's something that I would love for the audience and you, the judges, to know. The second is we already have a location. It's on Hamilton, at the corner of Moss and Hamilton. This is a great location. I believe that it's going to be the heart of development for Highland Park and for this corridor. And we're looking to be able to have coffee kind of be the start and the model for having small businesses and other entrepreneurs to come to the city.
This question is for new chapter books. So you were speaking on your books being like secondhand and used. Where do you source those books from? That's the first part of the question.
Yeah, so Next Chapter Books, and we have new and used, and so our sourcing for our secondhand books, we do get them from all over. Library sales, garage sales, estate sales, donations. Once we're in operation and we have a permanent place, what we want to do is a store credit. So if people want to bring in their used books, we can issue them store credit, in which case then they can then use that to spend for new books or other used books that they would find interesting.
So like a consignment type of thing?
No, not necessarily. No, so if you bring in a hardback book, I'll give you $2 store credit for it.
Oh, okay. And then you say you will offer new books as well, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Like new and current books?
Yes, we do currently now, yeah.
Okay.
They represent about 50% of our sales.
Thank you for that information. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Again, shout out to everybody for doing an amazing job. This question is for bouncing around the Motor City. The building, finishing the building, do you have estimates for the total cost? And the timeline did you give? Was that 3 months to complete it once you had the funding secured? What's the total cost for the rest of the building, build out, and then I guess whatever equipment you would need to go into the building if you had that?
Okay, well, one of the leading contributing factors that has really driven our rehabilitation in such a speedy manner is that my contractor is my husband. I'm married to him. And so that makes it less cost effective on me. And also, I'm able to manipulate in certain ways to get a speedier outcome of the desired results. And so, when we bought the building, you always want to look at the brighter side of things in life, right? And so the building had beautiful skylights. You could see the birds, the trees. You know, you could even feel the snow and the rain. But what was significant about that is that, yeah, we bought it for $1,100, but we found out why it was $1,100 really fast too. And so, but instead of my roof costing $85,000, Mario, did my roof for $40,000. And so I have a completed full replacement roof. It's something called beams that are really important. And so he replaced all of those in the wood, and I have a roof, I have a black top. We replaced the cave-in walls. It didn't have a concrete floor. You know, retail boot camp funded my clean out. It was 28 people, 40-yard dumpster, dumped 5 times. But what we found out is there wasn't a floor, there was dirt. It was some good dirt too, but it wasn't desired for the look that I wanted. And so we had the concrete floor poured. So because I have my Mario, I'm gonna pour this off in 3 months. That's my timeline.
She answered my question. Shout out to Mario.
Mario. And that's how I say it when I want something. It's either Bay or Mario.
So this is actually a 2-part question, and I'd like to have each of the contestants answer this. So my first question is, can you tell us a little bit about how you've already navigated the small business ecosystem? And then the second part of that question is, can you tell us what your plan B is?
My plan B? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Plan B if I don't get the $100,000 tonight, or plan B period, or plan B?
That's a great clarifying question. I would love to hear what happens to your process if you don't win tonight. But I'm mostly curious as to if this doesn't work out for you, if this business that you're working on right now doesn't work out, what's your plan B?
Okay, I'm not supposed to say this, but I feel positioned and comfortable enough to jump this ledge. There is no plan B because my plan A is working. And so there's no need for plan B. I'm the business that doesn't exist in Detroit. I'm not an addition. I am the one. I'm filling the market gap. And I say that with all confidence because anybody that knows me knows the sole on these boots were a lot thicker, but because they cost $300, I'm going to wear them until I'm probably 50. But I really say that to say that I'm everywhere. I'm literally bouncing around the Motor City, and I dress like this so people remember me. And so everything I do is intentional. So I say that there is no plan B. We're making plan A work. I'm doing this. Oh, one second, Jay, hold on. And as far as working my way into the ecosystem, I feel that bouncing around the Motor City has a higher level because of the grants and the pitch competitions that I've achieved and the monumental accomplishments we've made to the building. I feel that I've worked the ecosystem by finding out about grants, finding out about opportunities. I've completed every entrepreneur program in the city, Prosperous, Build Institute, Tech Town, we could keep going. So that's how I worked the ecosystem. I found out how to make my way into it.
I'm going to let the CEO answer this one.
In terms of how we navigate the small business ecosystem, it's partnerships. So we initially made a partnership with the Friends of the Elder Theater, a seasoned nonprofit in the community, and the East Warren Development Corporation. They have been wonderful in helping us engage in I'm getting hearts from them right now. And just uplifting, wanting our businesses to succeed. So we're already not in this alone. We're also talking about how we can partner with other small businesses, talking about pop-ups with Gajiza Dumplings, and a coffee partner, and how we can come alongside one another and offer more than one thing back to the community. We are also looking forward to our partnerships moving forward one way or another with Techtown and Comerica. What was your other question?
Plan B.
Oh, Plan B. So I'm kind of with Catherine. Once you spend a winter on East Warren in the Elder Theater with no bathroom and no HVAC system, you're in it. You're in it. And we've had a wonderful time. We've had propane heaters and space heaters, and people have come in and loved the coziness of our bookshop. And so this is what Jay and I are doing with our next chapter. And this bookstore will be what it's able to be as we transform it, as we grow. We opened down and dirty. We begged, borrowed, and stole all the bookcases for our current pop-up. We got our rugs off Facebook Marketplace in a weekend, driving here, there, and everywhere. So we get that it takes a hustle, and it may take stages for your business to grow.
So for Konjo, as far as working through Detroit's ecosystem, the main thing is partnership. We are in partnership with every space that we go into to do pop-ups. We create relationship, we connect with each community in that neighborhood for specifically where we go into each time. Another one is partnership with University of Michigan that has really put us on the map to putting our business out there and creating a strategy how to scale our business and visibility. Another one is being a proud alumni of RBC Tech Town. We have amazing mentorship and coaches. We work with Detroit's accounting, what is it called? I'm sorry. Accounting, Society of Accounting, where they also help us with all our bookkeeping. We have multiple partnerships, and we are very much supported in the community. We are bringing a concept that specifically Detroit does not have. We are not only just feeding people, but we are teaching people about what Ethiopian food is, how to eat healthy, how to connect with your food by understanding where your food comes from. Because everything that we cook in the kitchen is nutritious, and not only that, it has no preservatives. So it's all about longevity, health is wealth, and that is the mission for Konjo. As far as Plan B, there is no Plan B because our Plan A has been working, and it is going is continuing to work. So that's where we are now. Thank you.
So I'll answer the last one as well first. And for me, there is no plan B. I've spent over 20 years working in the coffee sector. Coming back to Detroit and Highland Park, I saw this opportunity. If for those who saw our logo, saw our color scheme, Sepia means inclusion and representation, right? So can we get more black and brown folks into specialty coffee? So coming back to the city, seeing that there was this gap, and knowing that I could fill that void for people. So for me, that is the important part. All of our partners, those 22 wholesale accounts, they are all in sync and in line with our mission, and that is to bring good coffee to more underserved communities. It's not just Highland Park. We go to the east side. Where is there a specialty coffee shop on the east side off of Warren? There isn't any. If we go over to the west side, thankfully we have Detroit Rosa, but before that, there was nothing, right? So what we're trying to do is to open up that door and to let some of these communities know it doesn't matter about your income bracket. You should still be able to get a good cup of coffee. So that's what we're trying to do. That's the base and the foundation, but there is more that comes to that, right? When we talk about representation and inclusion, it's not just coffee, it's food and it's other opportunities that people should have. And so what we want is to have a platform with Sepia Coffee to be able to have the community come in and say, you know what, I feel welcomed and this is me.
Thank you for that. I'll come right back to you. Just in thinking about Hamilton, I'm interested in learning a bit about competition in coffee in terms of available options, large retailers. If you could speak to that, it'd be helpful. And also a bit about how you plan to employ other folks or bring people on board.
Sure. So the location is at 16253 Hamilton. Again, right on the corner of Moss and Hamilton there. When I did my research trying to understand, okay, is there coffee in the city? There is one, Dunkin' Donuts, right? So we're right by the Aldi. I'm sure a lot of you have been to the Aldi in Highland Park, right? It's probably one of the best Aldis in the city. There is a Dunkin' Donuts. That Dunkin' Donuts did 1.2 million in sales last year, okay? That's the only option for Highland Parkers. So there is potential for us to grow the industry. If we go outside 3 miles, the closest specialty coffee shop last year made $1 million, okay? So again, there is opportunity. What I believe, based on my experience in talking with the community, is that a lot of them are driving 8 to 10 minutes just to get a coffee. Why? Right? Given that we have all of this potential right here. So what's great for Sepia Coffee is that, again, we have B2B and B2C. Our B2B right now is our bread, right? And that will continue to be the way. We're projecting 60% of our business is still going to be wholesale, selling to cafes, selling to restaurants and supermarkets. We're currently at Western Market in Ferndale. We're in all 4 locations of Plum Market, and we're working with at least 15 cafes that are doing quite well within the industry, right? So our growth potential is there. We haven't even touched Whole Foods or Meijer, right? But the potential is there because they've actually already started emailing, right? What we need to do is to scale up. And so our current location is 450 square feet. I'm roasting every day, 7 days a week, every day, in this space. The new location is going to be 2,040 square feet. 60% will be for production, and then we'll have about 600 to 800 square feet that is going to be the cafe, right? So there's opportunity for us on both sides. We wholesale our 5-pound bags of coffee for $50. This is the standard and pretty average for wholesaling. That same 5-pound bag of coffee can generate $450 in retail sales on the B2C side. So the $185,000 that I mentioned is definitely doable, and that's actually a safe number.
So I'll shoot this question, and hopefully everybody can chime in on this. I think one of the expectations is for entrepreneurs like you that can come up and give a well put together presentation and woo us all, is to have it all together. What is the area that you see yourself coming up short and you don't have all together? And do you have an understanding of how to get the help to cover you in that area?
I'll start, and actually this will connect to your second question that I didn't answer, so I apologize. But when it comes to staffing, right, we know with the pandemic and beyond, finding good labor can be a challenge for some people, especially in the food and beverage industry. On our side, where we need to gain the right partner, I like to call the people that I work with partners, is on the tech side of our business. So as a wholesaler, we're selling coffee to cafes. These cafes have espresso machines. They need someone to come in and service those espresso machines. So usually what happens in our business is we get a contract for 1 year, 2 years with a cafe and say, okay, we'll service your machines if you buy X amount per month in coffee, right? This is a win-win. And so for us, what we need to do is to find the right people that can not only handle roasting, but is also interested in doing more tech work. So some of the investment is going to be finding the right people that can actually balance both worlds.
And right here, while you're finishing, we're gonna shorten our answers just a little bit more. Judges, we have about 10 more minutes, so if you have some more questions, wanna kind of give an opportunity for everybody to kind of chime in on those. So just be mindful of that. Thank you.
Because I heard so many great things about Martell, and I can't get past how spectacular he is, I need to hear the question again.
The question is, what area are you not killing it in? And
I got you. It came back. Okay. So one of the key aspects that I wanted to point out is that the real prize for me here, of course, is the $100,000 because it can help me cross the finish line and open the doors. But the real prize is the other attributes of the program. Getting help with the technical assistance, getting help with the legal, getting help with all the things that I don't know. In my pitch, I told you all, I'm from Detroit, I'm from the neighborhood. So it's just that I didn't have the opportunity to learn certain stuff. And so that's what I like about these entrepreneur opportunities, and that's why I completed every program, but that's why this program, I like that it's gonna teach us everything. Like, it doesn't just give you the money, but it's gonna hand walk you, like take you through the steps, the intricate parts that I never had a chance to learn so I can actually succeed. Because I got the drive, I got the hustle, I just need help with the books.
Yeah, the unknown unknowns, right? The way I look at it, there's a few things. Staffing, in the same way that Martell said, that's where we need help. But the way I look at it is we've got a lot of great partners. We've got a lot of great people that we can ask those questions to. Again, as Sarah mentioned, the East Warren Development Corporation, 27th Letter Books, another bookstore that won this a few years ago. I mean, they're our mentors. We sat down with them when we had this idea, and we have just fired question after question, and they have been so generous to fill in the gaps, right? Similar business, they know what we're doing, they know what we're going through. So from that standpoint, I mean, we just rely on our allies and just go from there.
So for us, Ethiopian food is a very unique concept. Making the process of making the food takes a very long time, and patience have to come with it because it's not really a recipe base. It's about what you feel. You have to look at the food and connect with the food to add each recipes. So for us, it's more so finding the right team, just like Martell said, that understand it's not something you just put together and cook. It requires the patience and the time and understanding what the spices, Ethiopian spices are like, what the injera, the flatbread is like, and how it's made, because all these things take time time. It has to sit for a few days and ferment before you make it. So finding patience in our team members and the people that work for us is something that we're continuing to educate first, because it's not just something you just show and walk away. It's the educational part behind it. So just working through that is one of my small challenges.
So I believe most of you have been operating through COVID or either started during COVID, and most of you are in walkable neighborhoods, but I'd love to learn more about your use of technology and how you see that as a viable part of the future.
So social media is amazing. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, showing people what the food is and how to eat it. I had to learn to put myself out there, talk in front of people. That was something I did not know how to do. So starting this business has really pushed me to the limit of showing me what I'm capable of. So I put myself out there using social media as a tool to introduce, and not only that, but to educate other people about what Ethiopian food is and the culture. So social media is my best friend. I love Instagram.
I am thankful that unlike some of the other businesses here that have really been knocking it out during COVID, Jay and I opened our bookstore at the end of November. It's still, COVID is still here and it's still a concern. We make sure that we have safety precautions available in our store through masks and hand sanitizer, and that there aren't too many people in the store. But we know that we didn't go through the hard part of that other businesses did. And so we're learning from those who did.
I thrived during COVID. It was outdoor baby showers, outdoor balloon setups. Everybody wanted me. That's how I got my team. I needed them, literally. But as far as what technology could do for me is that when I told y'all that we did the balloon conferences, it was me, my team, and I took the kids with me, the 1, 6, 9-year-old, they went with me on the road. And it was because I wanted to start teaching them the family business now. But as far as technology, by me going to all of those conferences, I've made international relationships with all of the major balloon distributors. And so I let them know, hey, I'm opening up Detroit's first balloon store. So what I would say technology could do for me, it could transform Finkel, the building into an international shipping for balloons and stuff. We could make like a Detroit an international brand for, like a big balloon store. So now we could do nationwide shipping and we could ship balloons. So I would like the technology help to be able to have them where I can sell balloons in bulk and wholesale, because it's not nowhere you can go buy balloons in the city. People that face paint, people that do magicians, anything like that, they don't have nowhere to buy their supplies. So I would like the technology where they could do local pickup, or it could get delivered to them, and it'll get to them way faster, because it'll have a system. So I would like a technology system that could keep up with what I'm trying to pull off.
So we started in 2022, so we were getting through the pandemic. But when it comes to technology, I'll talk about two. One is definitely the social media. Instagram has been our friend. Having lived in West Asia, social media is everything. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. So you get a huge traction and following. So definitely think that social media is great. One other part of technology that's connected is our roasting machine. So we roast on a Korean hybrid roasting machine that uses hot air and halogen in order to roast. We don't use gas. With this machine, we actually have a tablet that's on it, and it has all of our data stored inside, right? I can share this to almost anyone who has access to the platform, including South Korean roasters. So I literally can have conversations with them, ask them about their roasting profiles. They can send the information over to me. I can actually use their profile to test roast. and vice versa. So technology, when it comes to specialty coffee and kind of how we're advancing coffee in production, is huge. Just this past weekend, the Specialty Coffee Association had an expo in Portland. These expos are now becoming very tech-heavy, right, with tons of different machines that will allow for us to use less time and energy in order to produce a product. So tech is the future.
Awesome. Amazing. Well, judges, thank you so much for your thought-provoking questions. I would like to give you an opportunity. Are there any last questions that you may have, or a last question that is just, AJ, this is pivotal to my decision? I knew it was going to be Rachel.
Sorry, that's going to be me. All right. I would love quickly for each of the contestants to tell us exactly how much additional funding is needed to get your project to your doors opening, and how long do you think it will take? So if you had a magic wand and you could actually get all of the money, how much money, how much time is it going to take to get your doors open?
And I'm going to preference that with time and money. That's two statements. So we're going to start at the end. Well, you already have it, Martel, I'm sorry. Start there and then work down. So time, just the time and money, the amount and the time.
So build out will take 3 to 4 months. In total, what we would need is roughly around $200,000.
The timeline is 3 months because we already got most of the major accomplishments done. So we literally just need the money to do the interior and buy the inventory. So I would say 3 months. And then as far as the money, we're coming in. We initially started with the $300,000. We're still at that. And I would say the $100,000. That'll take us across the finish line. That's all we need to open the doors because we got everything else done.
Our total to complete our project is $160,000, and it would take 3 to 4 months.
Our total to complete the project is around $400,000, and the total project projection to open our restaurant is going to be next year, summer.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your answers. Thank you so much for your questions. So lastly, we're going to do a quick 30 seconds where you have your last final appeal. Now, I'm a stickler. I'm a Scorpio, so I'm a stickler for time. So you're going to start it, and you'll hear it, and whatever the last is kind of like a, what is that? Simon, no, not Simon Says. Red light, green light. When the buzzer go off, that's when we cut. All right? So we're going to start at the end with Konjo Me. Here we go.
Detroit deserves a restaurant or a unique Ethiopian experience that it doesn't have. We see that now we have more African cuisine coming into Detroit, and we want to be a part of that. We want to be a destination place where others from different states come in to check out Konjo Me. And that way, it also brings people to our city, and they can see our growth.
All right. 25 seconds, y'all. Here we go. All right, let me start back over. All right. Okay. Next chapter books.
During our pop-up, many of our customers have told us that they leave their neighborhood on East Warren for most of their amenities. Some of them leave the city. This isn't right. East Warren should have a bookstore. We are excited to be a part of the retail transformation happening there. We're excited to be able to offer books and gifts in a third space for people to gather outside of work and home. We need your votes. We need your support. We want to foster a love for reading. We want to give space to those who already love it.
It's there. It's low, but it's there. Turn it back up. Great job. All right, Catherine, girl. Okay, let me get it started. Wait. I haven't started my clock, girl. Oh, no. I'm from Detroit, too. Okay, there you go.
My connection is deeper because I'm from the community that I'm rehabilitating the building. I watched them tear down Finkel Avenue, and so when I seen them put the sign on the building, I was like, not on my watch, not another lot that y'all ain't gonna attend to. So I was like, I'll save the building. They was like, well, the structure is damaged. I said, Mario could fix it. And so I feel like that I'm really giving back to the community. I had people, yesterday I set up my desk outside, but I had people walking up to me.
Red light, green light.
Saying they glad I
Red light,
saved
green
it.
light. You threw it.
I'm receiving it.
All right. Thank you so much. Martel.
30 seconds.
There we go.
Coffee, like food, brings people together. Usually with that, you're having dialogue and conversation. That dialogue can lead to change. I'm a Highland Parker born and raised. My family has been there since the 60s. I remember in the 80s and 90s what Highland Park was like. And what I want to do after all of these years being around the world is to be a part of that change. Development is coming, it's now, and I want to be a part of it.
All right, there you go. Right there on the nose. Thank you guys so much. I think that was my favorite part. I think it's so critical. I love the 30 seconds. I remember from the business classes I was forced into taking in school, 30-second elevator pitch is key. It shows you how much you know about your business and how much you can quickly relay. Because being in media, you don't know how many times people have approached me, or I'm sure have approached our judges, just in the elevator that can actually get me or get their story or get you to buy in. So once again, congratulations just on doing that. I'm going to come to y'all later I'm about to be an entrepreneur and y'all gonna tell me. All right, so thank you so much once again. Wow, let's give it up for our judges. Thank you. So our contestants have definitely given our judges a lot to consider. And while they deliberate, what are we all about to do? Drink. Yes, it is time for us to go and nosh and have some libations. Now, the food is being, wait, hungry people, wait. I want you to invite you guys to go to the atrium, but I also want to note that the food is being provided by our Hatch alumni. Please give them a hand. So please be sure to support their businesses this evening. Get a card, drive by. The best support is money spent for a small business. Also a reminder, the voting will close in 15 minutes from now, so be sure to cast your vote for your favorite entrepreneur of the night. Thank you, and I'll see you shortly when we get ready to announce the winner. guys ready to see, hear, and witness who gets to go home with $100,000? It's me. No, it's not. It's not me. But I want you guys to come and bring your attention this way. We're about to start gathering around. I'm seeing the faces of our judges. So come on down to the step and repeat. I'm getting too close. Over here, this lovely step and repeat. So I'm waiting on some of my counterparts to come on down. I believe our finalists should come down. So all of our finalists, come on. Yep, come on where I'm at. You must be present to win. Right. Come on down. All right, I'm looking for 2 more of my finalists. Here we are. Welcome. One more. Where my Detroit girl at? Catherine, come on down. Right, where's Finko? Mario, do you have her? Come on down. Okay, you're gonna be? Oh, she's at the restroom. Thank you, her representative. All right, very good job. Okay, oh, here she comes. All right, come on down. Come on in, girl. All right, so now I am looking for the person with the envelope. Waiting on my Comerica Tech Town counterpart to come on down. You're the next contestants on the Comerica Hatch Off. We're waiting. I think they're doing it on purpose. They're trying to make you nervous. We're done being nervous. They're like they're over it. All right, come on down. So I'm going to turn this mic over to you.
Oh, Jesus. Wow. Okay. Well, once again, congratulations, everyone. And so are we ready for the winner? Okay. All right. All right. The 2023 Hatch winner is Bouncing Around the Motor City.
As she goes bouncing around the step and repeat. Congratulations! Don't faint. We'll take some pictures. All right. And here we are. Oh, here we are. Wait, you got to see it. All right. Everyone get in for a good picture. Guys, give it up for bouncing around the Motor City. Oh, $100,000. That's $100,000, y'all. One more time. Let's give it up. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for sticking with us throughout the evening. Again, congratulations to Bouncing Around the Motor City. We're going to be taking some pictures. Feel free to take pictures. Come and join the Step and Repeat. Congratulations to all of our entrepreneurs that made a submission tonight. We will definitely, please follow their businesses, their growth. We will see you next year for 2024 Comerica Hatch. Thank you again to Comerica, all of our sponsors, and Tech Town.